story about a drug trafficking indictments that the candidates of the All Progressives Congress had in 1993. And as I've appeared on this show before to speak about this case, anyone who hasn't read the case files can easily Google them and find them. They are everywhere now. These case files have been sourced from the U.S. District Courts of the Eastern District of Illinois, the Northern District of Illinois Eastern Division. And essentially, you have this fellow, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was identified by IRS Investigative Special Agent Moss.
Welcome back to Eriwa TV. Welcome back to this TV again. This video you're about to watch is about Tinubu. These details will show you about the Tinubu certificate saga. It's about Tinubu drug league saga, about the drugs and other things. Is he guilty or not guilty? Listen to this gentleman. He have analyzed all the matters. He says from his times they have been making sure that he goes through the matters several ways, both in and out of Nigeria. Just listen attentively and don't forget to share this video, comment, and also let people know about your view. Thank you very much. Welcome to Eriwa TV. Eriwa TV is the best.
As a bagman, that's a money launderer working on behalf of a drug ring that was trafficking heroin in Chicago. And basically, this indictment, which has been on public record since 1993, for whatever reason, this story hasn't properly been told the way it was meant to be told. It's sort of become like a rumored kind of thing. So in the lead up to this election, I decided that I wanted to take this on. That you can't have a story potentially about somebody who has a chance of becoming Nigeria's next president being linked to drug trafficking, and it's just relegated to the realm of like social media rumors and stuff you see on blog pages on Instagram and things like that. So I dug into it, and the information it's visible to the blind and audible to the deaf, right? That this fellow was involved in drug trafficking, and this is not an allegation. This is not a claim. This is a documented fact, right? There are legal documents backing this up, right? This guy forfeited $460,000 of funds that were, I quote, proceeds of narcotics trafficking. This is on record. So I don't know, possibly because it's been 29 years since this thing happened, and as we tend to do in Nigeria, we tend to think that justice has an expiry date. So because this thing happened 29 years ago and he has been able to get away with it, he became a governor, he governed for 2 terms, he has been a political operator, he was elected as a senator in 1992 as well. So basically he got away with it all the time. So the posturing from the camp seems to be that, well, this is already dead and buried, so why are you resurrecting this now? So why are you asking this question? And I think that's a ridiculous position to take, because as I've said earlier, Bola Tinubu is not applying to be president of Lagos or president of APC or president of Dele Alake and Bayo Onanuga. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is applying to be my president too. And your president, everybody's president who carries a Nigerian passport. So of course he has to answer this question that were you or were you not linked with drug trafficking? And if you claim that you weren't, well, here's the evidence, unimpeachable evidence that you were. So what do you have to say for that? Obviously, he doesn't want to answer that question. He doesn't want to present himself for that kind of type of question, because obviously he doesn't have anything with which to defend himself. He's as guilty as sin. That's very obvious. And then the second story, which I did, which was a separate story, but also linked to that, was a story about perjury. Now, on his INEC EC9 affidavits, he made several claims. He claimed that the date of birth he claimed on his INEC EC9 was a different date of birth to that which he has used in other places. So essentially what happened was the lawyer that he mentioned, Mike Enahoro Eba, he actually took INEC to court earlier in the year, I think in August, when INEC refused to make Bola Ahmed Tinubu's EC9 form public, and he won the case. INEC released the EC9 form to him. So then he contacted a law firm in Chicago, Leahy, Eisenberg, and Franco, to essentially investigate some of these claims that were made by Bola Ahmed Tinubu about his history in the US. So subpoenas were sent to Chicago State University, Richard Daley College, Deloitte, where he claimed to have worked, and Anderson Tax, because he claimed to have worked at Arthur Anderson at some point too. And the results that came back from these institutions prove that the claims he made on his INEC EC9 and some of the documents submitted on his INEC EC9 were completely false. So, for example, the subpoena that went out to Chicago State University, the lawyer asked for all records regarding Bola Ahmed Tinubu that Chicago State University had, and they responded with the records he used to gain admission to Chicago State University, where he stated that he went to a secondary school called Government College Lagos, and he graduated in 1970. Well, it just so happens that Government College Lagos started in 1974. So clearly he couldn't have graduated in 1970 because it didn't exist. The certificate, the degree certificate that was provided by the university, which was an exact reprint of the original certificate that was issued to a certain Bola A. Tinubu in 1979, was a completely different document to that which is submitted to INEC. Different font, different wording, different signatures, and different dates. And then what, in my opinion, the craziest thing of all was that a very simple, some very 5-minute internet research revealed that this document that is submitted to INEC was sourced from an online forgery service called diplomamakers.com. So literally, if you go to the Pinterest repository of this website, diplomamakers.com, you will literally see a template for a Chicago State University fake degree certificate that is identical to what he submitted to INEC. The same grammatical errors on that certificate with what he submitted to INEC. So essentially, this guy or somebody working for him went to a service that produces fake certificates, diploma-makers.com, right? Got a fake certificate from there and submitted it to INEC. So the question is why? The answer to that may be answered by some of the other records that were obtained from Chicago State University. Now, one of the records that was obtained was a transcript from Richard Daley College, which was used to gain admission. And on that transcript, it was stated that the person known as Bola A. Tinubu that was given admission to Chicago State University, the sex of that person was female. So which essentially means that the person parading himself as Bola Ahmed Tinubu today and the person who got admission to Chicago State University as Bola A. Tinubu are in fact not the same person. That person also claimed to have a different nationality. That person claimed to be Black American. Tinubu on his INEC EC9 claimed that he has no nationality except Nigerian. So there are so many questions to answer. There's the basic issue of perjury, which, by the way, is a criminal offense. You can go to jail for that. There's the issue of falsification of documents, forgery. There's the issue of identity theft. There's the issue of non-declaration of supplementary nationality. And then there's the issue of the false claims of having gone to Government College Lagos, which didn't exist when he came to graduated. And just to quickly close on this, the subpoena that went out to Deloitte, the response that came back simply said, we do not know this person. This person has never worked for us. We have no record here. So if you recall, and let me just quickly close with this, his most recent media appearance, where he was asked, how did he make your money? He all of a sudden, he made no reference to Deloitte this time around, which is a story has been shopping around for decades. These are questions.
So much for putting the issues out there, because we deal with the issue, and I'm sure his campaign council will react to all of this that you've put down. They're going to make their own robust reaction as right of reply. Agba, the question I asked you.
Yeah, in the press today, I think there's a hunting expedition. There are some people who feel like the adjutants and the superintendents of the industry, and once you are not bowing to their line, you are either considered not to be a journalist or you are considered incompetent, because they feel that they are the foundation of this particular profession in Nigeria. But that is expected, because it's not only happening in journalism, it's part of the professional politics that you face in every office out there. People don't just like some others when they are beginning to make headlines or getting some popularity that they don't have. They come after you and begin to question your credibility, not because they think that what you are doing is wrong, but just deliberately because they want to pull you down. It is not a new thing. Even from the time of Jesus, they have to look for one of you. It is the journalists that those who are looking for you will use to come after you. Most of the people that they have used to come and arrest me were my colleagues. They're the first persons that they will reach out to and ask them when you think he can be home, when you think he can be in the newsroom, when you think he can be on his laptop. If it's not people as close to you like that, they will not be able to get you. But on the whole, I think that as the debate about professionalizing this job goes on, it is important that colleagues begin to close ranks. Most of the media organizations in Nigeria are owned by politicians. And if those of us who are professionals who work for them are also unable to stick ourselves together and defend ourselves as well as the profession, ultimately, the politicians will just turn us to their tools, use us for as much as they want, and then when we get old, we walk out of the newsroom and return home empty and wretched while they continue stealing the resources of the country and sending their own children overseas. We must see a need to develop our profession, defend ourselves, defend the newsrooms, not just the interests of the politicians. And until we do that, the profession will continue to face this kind of onslaught that is facing from the politicians. They will steal money, go and buy the cameras and the printers and put them together, then bring us and use us as tools. When they are tired of us, they push us away because they know they can always use us against ourselves. But that is a point of reflection for us moving forward.
All right, Dr. Matthew.
Okay, there is a red herring that is being bandied around in a very emotional and unintelligent manner, which is that journalists must not go near politics, or that